What up, what up? It's your boy Blue back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about why you don't need to really try to reinvent the wheel in business. You just need to kind of find a lane and attack it. Um, the reason why I'd say not to try to reinvent the wheel is because you're going to spend all your time trying to figure that out instead of getting to the bag. Um, if really the approach I would recommend that you would take is to, like I've said before in previous videos, get you a notebook or and a pen, or get you a phone, iPhone or Android or iPad or computer, whatever you have. Make a note, write out your ideas, write out who your customers are, write out what platforms or how you're going to sell the product or the service. Those are going to be more effective ways of getting the business started, which is the most important part. Doing all the legwork and all that ramping up, it doesn't really help you, because while you're sitting around trying to figure out how you're going to do something and what you're going to do, someone else is jumping in, starting that day. So like I said before, figure out what you want to do and just go ahead and get you a basic strategy of what you plan on doing, and just go ahead and start that day and attack it with everything you got. I would, like I've said before, I wouldn't recommend anyone to quit their 9 to 5 or whatever you got part-time, or I don't care if you DoorDash or however you're paying your bills right now is going to be the way you're going to pay your bills for probably up to the next 6 months to a year minimum before you can replace that income. But then I still wouldn't go quitting the job or the whatever income generating activities you got going on right now. I wouldn't stop that now, right away, as soon as the business start making enough money to pay your bills, because you want to make your income above where it's at now. So for example, let's say you're making $3K a month right now, you're doing DoorDash or you have a job somewhere, and you're making $3K, then what I would say is start the business on the side. Because if you do the business on the side, let's say you work 8 hours at your current income generating activity, you're gonna work 2 to 4 more hours on your business, because when you're in a business, you're more at the forefront of the revenue generation. When the money comes in, if you're doing a service business, if you invoicing customers and you're giving them net 30s or whatever you want to, you're giving them invoices due in 7 days. When that money comes in, you're the first to touch it. Versus if when you're working for someone else's business or doing like a gig work or whatever, they are receiving the funds for the services or the goods. So what I would recommend is stay doing that, get that money, keep that money coming in. Go ahead while you're figuring out what really is going to make the money in the business, because one thing that you're going to realize when you start a business, I don't care what business you start, you're going to find other avenues and other ways that income is generated. For example, in my reselling business, I started off selling a lot of sneakers. You see a lot of classics and some heat, semi-heat, whatever. Sorry. So yeah, you would think that will bring in the bulk of the money in reselling. You know what I'm saying? I have a Supreme fridge here. They've been selling for, 3 to 5K recently. So I mean, when you're looking at certain things, you may think that, oh, that's bringing in all the money, where really I just bought that fridge when I had retail stores in the past. I had retail stores, and I would just had that out there just as a show, because I didn't expect anybody to really pony up and pay the price for it, because you have to have a disposable $3,000 to $5,000 just to own that thing, and it's pretty small. It's really a more of a showpiece. you know. So in that business, what really drives the revenue and the profit was the vintage clothing. So you might buy in that business, you might buy a sneaker. The average sneaker will cost you, $200 to $250 if you're able to get it retail, right? So then you're talking about a small markup on a shoe and making a small margin, right? Versus where I could buy bales and bales and bales of vintage clothing that's already semi-sorted, so I know what I'm pretty much getting, and I'm able to sell those for 3 to 10x my dollar input on them. So when I started the business, I didn't have no inclination at all to get into the vintage clothing business. I was just doing business with some sneakerheads, and I thought that they had on the racing tees, the vintage racing tees that they had on. I thought they were cool, so we started talking about them, and they started showing me the vintage and showing me like how picking worked and how how to price the stuff, how to authenticate the stuff. And I would get with them and try to learn as much as I could. And once I got to a certain point, I was able to leverage a lot of what I already had built up doing the sneakers and like hype stuff. I was able to leverage that and go jump into the vintage game at a bigger level than they were able to. So which I'll talk about all that stuff on my other channel, which is more dedicated to like sneakers and vintage clothing and things of that nature. That channel is called Frat Boy Sniffy Kicks. If you're interested, you can go and sub me there. And I haven't dropped a video over there in a while, but I got a couple planned. So I'm going to go ahead and be knocking those out and posting those as well. If that might be something you might want to get into, I'll be, kind of assisting and kind of telling people, how I do, how I work around in that business. But anyway, like I said, don't try to reinvent the wheel with this stuff. Just get in there, find out what's making money, how you're going to make the money, the bulk of the money. Because in most businesses, there's like only a few things that generate the bulk of the revenue. You look at like, let's use something that everybody can relate, like Chick-fil-A, right? Because I'm in the restaurant business as well. So Chick-fil-A, there's a lot of game that I give to a lot of restaurateurs that are up and coming that might hit me up for coaching. I tell them, look, you're going to be tempted to make this crazy big menu because when you give these distributors, they have every product that you can imagine for every kind of concept of every kind of food. But here's the thing. Your sales, when you break it down, I don't care if you got 50 items on your menu, when you break it down, your restaurant is going to be known for something. That restaurant is going to be known for that item. So, you might think that your pork chops and gravy are the best or the most fires or whatever, right? But the people might come and say, oh, we like this pot roast, right? So if you look at your sales data and the pot roast is outselling everything 10 to 1 or 5 to 1, then you know what to push, you know what to market, you know what to invest your money into. So now you go and we the pot roast, we go and you're going to sell hella pot roast. You're not going to sit over here and try to push pork chops on people. You know what I'm saying? The kind of businessman I am, I'm going to probably get rid of the pork chop. Gone. 86 it. Because if people want the pot roast, then I'm going to keep on pumping the pot roast. You feel me? So, don't reinvent the wheel. Just jump in, figure out where the money is going to come in the most at, and just focus on that and set your sights on that and set all your energy on that. And don't worry about none of the BS. Don't worry about, if there's a lot of competition in that field or whatever, because number one, what's going to make you win is how you treat your customers. Number one, how you treat your customers. Number two, how you market your product. Number three, if you can find good help. All right. So that's what you need to focus on. Don't be focusing on, trying to reinvent the wheel, because there ain't nothing new under the sun. That's all I got for y'all today on this video. Peace.